right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Crypto Wanderer 5813. Good afternoon to you, man. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, guys, please hit the like button on your way in, or please hit the like button if you get any sort of insights into the market from this live stream. Anna Levita, welcome in to you. Thank you for joining. Chad P, what's up, man? It has been a week. But you know what? We were expecting this dump from $82,500, guys. I've been talking about it weeks before we came up to that key resistance area. Expecting a dump because of multiple reasons. The top of the channel, we were also looking at it being a bearish backtest of our macro multi-cycle pitchfork band. It was our one-to-one trend-based Fibonacci extinction correction target, which is the most common target for an ABC correction, coming up to 82.3. It was also our golden pocket, our logarithmic golden pocket. If we pull that golden pocket from 98K down to 60K, turn that on log because it is more than a 30% drop to the downside. You can see this is exactly where we were expecting a potential major crash to come in on the charts. Looking at this being an overall bear market still, seeing that this was very similar to our last range where we get that kind of corrective range where everyone towards the end of the range gets super bullish, expecting new all-time highs just for you to impulse to the downside and make new lows. We know that at our 60K lows, we did not see those high time frame bull divs that we wanted to see. And also we were revisiting 2024's price action. We saw a nice bounce from that 2024 value area low. But a few weeks ago, as we were making our way up to this zone here, I talked about the most important thing for us now that we know that this could be an A, B, C, and if this is an ABC, whatever happens in this first corrective, in this first move down, is going to tell us really what we need to know on the macro time frame. I told you guys that if it starts out with an impulse to the downside, then this whole entire corrective structure could be done, and eventually we make that way down to take out your 60K lows. If this move to the downside was a three-wave corrective move, then there was the potential of continuing to make new highs, coming up to $86,000, $87,000. But we are seeing now some clarity on the charts. We needed some time to pass. We are seeing some clarity on the charts. We are seeing that this was most likely an impulse to the downside, a wave one, wave two, internal wave one, internal wave two. You get your big third wave. And even on Tuesday's live stream, I told you guys that I was expecting new lows below this low at 74.2 because we had our first four, then we had a five, we needed to make another four, and we needed to make another five. So we now have officially, we're getting towards the end of this impulsive structure to the downside. It doesn't mean the low is in right now. We could still continue to grind down within this structure because if we analyze the move down from Tuesday to today, we can zoom in on that structure and see if we can count a completed five-wave impulse to the downside. If not, then we might continue to grind lower and see this fifth wave extend a little bit more here. But I am expecting a bounce soon. Whenever this impulsive structure to the downside ends, we would be looking for a wave two correction up to golden pocket 786 area, and at the very minimum up to the 382 Fibonacci, the 382 trend-based Fibonacci extinction. So let me go ahead and distance music. Welcome in, man. So good to see you in here. And thank you for hitting the like button. Ryan Hinson, welcome in. Good afternoon to you as well. D Crypto, good afternoon. And C-Train, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Little Rich 69, Israel Bonfim, what's up, guys? Mark Dutch, much love to you, Mark. Fuck, today I winked my other hand. Somehow it feels off. Second attempt loading. Please whisper softly, Ryan. Today for the Bitcoin price, Mark. Are we dumping or are we pumping? No, what's up, Mark? Good to see you in here, man. Much love to you. And Steel and Stone, welcome in as well. So, all right, guys, let me go back to the Coinbase chart. You can see on the Coinbase chart, I have a support level coming up. And if we look at where our golden pocket is, if we pull a golden pocket, first off, before I go into that, I want to talk about we have a couple scenarios that could play out on the macro time frame. So if this was, yeah, Awesome, Mark. Thank you for doing that for me. So now you guys can clip that and put that all over the internet. There you go. Done. Awesome. If this is a three-wave corrective pattern, which in bear markets, that is oftentimes what we do see, you guys. We see either like in this area up here after that big crash, we saw kind of a flat correction in here, and then you get the big dump, right? Three-wave corrective move, dump. And now we're looking at the bear market continuing as far as time goes as well, that 4-year cycle. We know that it could be ending, towards the last quarter of the year, September, October, November. Also the lows, there was a major problem on those lows with as far as the high time frame bull divs, in my opinion. We generally want to see those. But if this is a three-wave corrective pattern, after ending a high time frame corrective range, you generally see an impulse to the downside, and that impulse can get very, very aggressive. So something like a wave 1, a wave 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm running out of real estate, but you guys get the idea. You get that move down and you take out those lows that the impulse was started from. So this is what I'm looking for in the next coming week or so. I am looking for a bounce in a wave 2 corrective move. Because once again, within this first wave, we're looking at that double 1-2 impulse. The wave 1, 2, 1, 2. We got our 3, 4, 5, 4, and we're in our fifth and final wave of this larger daily first wave to the downside. But when it does end, you're looking for the move up to be a 3-wave corrective move up, or a more complex WXY, which is just a series of 3-wave moves, right? And then you get kind of that extended range that happens. But I'm looking for a bounce relatively soon on Bitcoin. For those levels, for a bounce, we really want to be reacting from some sort of decent support level. And with the low today was not really anything special. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere. We had a daily level at $73,800. We busted straight through that last night. And I let you guys know reaction equals no trade. We didn't take that. We do have a naked daily point of control just below us around 72,250. But the much better level of support, in my opinion, the much better level of support is going to be the bottom of our ascending channel. And this ascending channel has been nicely respected. We were acting as resistance in here for a while. Once we flipped it to support, and then we continued to work our way up to the top. Came down to 76K, bounced from the midline only to come up and hit a naked daily at 78. Lost it, and then we back tested it. That's what this weekend and Tuesday, you can see for this entire 1 test, 2 test, 3 test, 4 tests, maybe 4 or 5 tests in there. Could not get back above the midline. And then so we start dropping pretty aggressively. And to drop to the lower limit of that pitch or of that channel would be a nice little support level to at least see a decent bounce. If we pull our golden pocket from our C wave lows, from the impulse of the C wave to the highs of the C wave, we do have that golden pocket that is coming in right at the base of that channel. Let me turn that off of log scale because we want, it's less than 100% pump to the upside. So you want to keep that off log scale. So you can see that our golden pocket's coming in from around 71,750-ish to 71,2. And that is going to be in really nice confluence with the bottom of that channel. Also, if we turn on our daily levels, we do have a daily level that is just below that. You can see the daily level from this range in here that is going to be just below that. If I zoom out onto the daily time frame, you can see there's that daily level right in there. And it could be acceptable to wick past the golden pocket and hit the daily, but close the daily candle at or above the golden pocket. So in my opinion, that level of support is much better than where we're bouncing from right now. Where we're bouncing from right now, I'm sure there's some low time frame fair value gaps or something like that that's in there, but there's nothing really too big. We also have this daily imbalance candle in here, this big bullish green engulfing candle right in here. And you can see that coming down and filling the fair value gap that daily candle filled. If I turn on the fair value gap indicator, we would be filling that big daily fair value gap. Okay. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, it's not a fair value gap because this candle is, the candle body here is next to it, but it's an imbalance still that's in the market. We do have a little bit of an imbalance there. It looks like the bounce that we're seeing today is pretty much a filling of the small fair value gap that we had in here. But it's not really a major support level, guys. We're not really seeing a bounce from a major daily level, a major weekly level, a major Fibonacci level. We've already surpassed the 0.5 Fibonacci. You can see we passed that 0.5 Fibonacci, and coming down to the golden pocket is probably the most likely scenario to finish this wave one impulse to the downside. So what we can look at, and I did pull a Fibonacci retracement for our wave two. If all of this is going to be that wave one, and we look for a 3-wave corrective move in a wave two, the golden pocket is going to be in pretty nice alignment with our channel midline. And then generally, if you see that rejection from that channel midline, that's when you see the big breakdown. And this could be our big wave three. And there is a little bit of a concern for the wave three. Let me turn our volume profile back on of the 3-month long range. So I do like the 68K support level. You can see 68.8 to about $68,000. It's going to be our more macro golden pocket. If we pull a golden pocket from the range lows at 60,000 to our range highs at 82.8, you can see our golden pocket is coming in right where that point of control is coming in. We also do have our bearish pitchfork band coming in right at that level, and we are rejecting from the pitchfork midline. Let me actually clean this up, guys. I know this is getting a bit messy in here. So that $68,800 support is pretty nice. And if we're going to bounce in our wave two at 71 to 72K and then come up to golden pocket, our wave three could bust straight through that. And our wave three actually could bust straight through the value area low, which is also going to be another nice support level because our 786 Fibonacci aligns very nicely with that value area low at 64.8. But if we're going to see the big impulse down, generally your wave three is your most aggressive, most volume-filled wave to the downside. We could be coming all the way to 60K to take out the lows at 60K for a wave three, get a small retrace in a wave four to backtest that value area low, and it would also be a backtest of the pitchfork band, and then you get your fifth and final wave to the bottom of the pitchfork, which would be our $58,000 to $56,000 lows. And this entire impulse to the downside could take a couple months to play out. I would say at least a month. I would be expecting at least a month to play out. But once again, guys, the impulse down here, this first move down from the highs, whether this first move down was a corrective move down or an impulsive move down is what we needed to know. 3-wave or 5-wave. And if it was an impulsive move, then it's far more likely that this entire uptrend corrective move on the high macro timeframes is over with, and now we are about to see impulsive structures to the downside to take out your $60,000 lows. I've been saying for about 2 months on the channel that this is my highest probability scenario for Bitcoin. On the other hand, we also were looking at an impulse on the USDT chart, USDT dominance chart. And the USDT dominance chart, we were looking for a pullback over the last 3 months in this corrective channel, a 3-wave corrective move to pull back between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. And if we were to see a bounce there and break market structure bullishly, then we could say that this corrective move was done. And now we're looking for an impulse. And in my opinion, that impulse is going to bring us up to take out our double highs and potentially finish the bear market. The USDT chart, we were looking at impulse correction for a wave one, a wave two, a wave three here, a wave four, and then now our fifth and final wave could bring us up to take out that 9.5% highs. So we have confluence both on USDT coming into resistances, some very key macro resistances, at the same time that the USDT dominance chart was coming into some very macro support levels, channel midline, 382 Fibonacci, naked weekly point of control, daily level, coming down into this area, bouncing from this area, and now we're starting to break out of the channel. And I warned about this last Friday. During last Friday's live stream, right in here, we were starting to break out of that channel. I said, watch for over the weekend appears up above that level, a retrace, and if we can hold this back test of the channel, then I would expect new highs, and that is when this move up can get pretty aggressive to the upside. And I would at least expect us, when we break a channel structure like this, generally when you break it, you at least will grab the liquidity of the second pivot, if not sweep the liquidity of the entire channel. So we could see maybe all of this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we're going to come up, maybe reject from the golden pocket that we're hitting right now, see a larger pullback in a wave 2, and then we see that big wave 3 that could bring us up towards the highs of the channel, a 4 and then a 5. We would see something like this. But we're looking for impulsive price action to the upside on USDT. At the same time, we're looking for impulsive structures to the downside on Bitcoin. So we have very, very nice confluence. And guys, a 68K, don't get me wrong, 68K, I definitely will be looking for longs in this 68 to 68.8 zone. It depends on how we bounce from this level here. If we bounce and we get like a small flat corrective move, and then we're going to continue dumping, there is a real chance we could dump straight through that. In the other hand, if we're looking for a bigger impulse to the downside, we could see a wave 1, a wave 2, maybe just rejecting the 382 or the 0.5. We could see another wave 1, another wave 2, and then see that big third wave come in, and then some 4.5s, 4.5s. So it doesn't mean that our 68K isn't going to play out, because oftentimes on Bitcoin, you will see these double 1-2 impulses. Actually, that's what we're seeing since the highs at 82.8. And we'll pay attention to all of that as it gets here. You know, we'll set alerts, we'll look at it, but you can see here, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we get our big third wave to the downside, 4, 5, 4, and we're in that fifth and final wave. So inside the fifth wave, that's what we need to look at right now, inside our secondary fifth wave from the highs on Tuesday, where we SFP'd the weekend highs. You can see this high that was from Monday, which was a holiday, so it's considered a weekend high. Do we see a 5-wave structure in here? And I'm telling you right now, I do not think this is complete. Let me go to the 1-hour time frame. So from this high here, we can see a wave 1 impulse to the downside. This is like a running flat or a flat correction in here for a wave 2. We have our wave 3 that maybe came down and made lows yesterday or late last night. We could be looking at a flat here right now for a wave 4, and then we could see that fifth and final wave to come down to 71.7, and that would complete our second fifth wave to the downside. Then we would be expecting a nice little retracement over the next few weeks, next week, I would say at least. And in my opinion, coming up and sweeping the highs of 78K would be a really good area to look at, or potentially coming up, because oftentimes when you finish a bigger impulse to the downside, your corrective move will at least take out the origins of your wave 4 corrective highs. In this case, corrective highs. Your wave 4 corrective highs are lows, but in this case, because it's bearish, it's your corrective highs. And we do have some liquidity resting above those highs as well. Okay, let me check the chat here, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Mark, I love you, man. You're so funny. I need a cigarette now. What's up, Wick Rider? Ned, much love to you, man. Nonsense, what's up to you, man? Good to see you in here. Eric, what's up, man? Around town, peace to you as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. No, good to see you as always. Yeah, we can look at Arbitrum and ADA. We'll get into some of the altcoins in just a bit. Actually, I will look at Hype as well. So thank you for the super chat, Mr. Grove. I appreciate that super chat so much. And yes, we'll look at Hype in just a second here. I actually just posted about Hype right before the stream in the Telegram. Sudeep, much love to you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for modding. Okay, we also have an anchored VWAP at 71.6. Okay, is that the anchored VWAP from the 60K lows? So if we pull an anchored VWAP, guys, no, that's not the anchor. There we go. From the 60K lows, look at where that anchored VWAP is coming in. We have broken, and that's our macro trend support. I am telling you guys, and thank you for that nonsense. Thank you for letting, I knew that was there, but it was off the chart. So thank you for reminding me about that. this 71.6, 71.7, guys, down to about 71.2. I believe that is where we're going to see a decent multi-$1,000 bounce to potentially come up to 78, 79,000. And we can just do a theoretical fib on that, right? Let's put it right on that 71.7. We would be coming up to that golden pocket right around 78.3 to 79K. It would sweep this liquidity. It would take out the origin of our wave fours. And really, we had two ranges up in here. We had this upper range. It broke down, and now we were forming another little range that just broke down as well. So it would come up, it would backtest the lows of this range, it would sweep the highs of this range, and then we could see that crash come in. Our Pink, much love to you, man. So good to see you in here as always. Have to get used to the time change, being back home. Well, our Pink, just thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you so much. Time didn't change, you just aged. Yeah. Okay, let me go into Hype real quick, guys. Hype is pumping right now on the day. And last time we talked about Hype, we talked about this upper range that was forming, and really we didn't want to break $58. We did end up breaking 58 and came down to about 56, but that, and you can see I have this, I'll delete that for a second, but this zone is pretty important for Hype because we're looking at a 5-wave impulse, right? We were looking at from the lows at $38, a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. Now we were depicting whether this was a 3-wave pullback and a wave 4, and this was your 5th and final wave to the upside, therefore completing this impulse. Is this completed? And now we're about to see a bigger move to the downside? Or is the 5-wave impulse not completed and we're seeing an extended wave 4 corrective move before seeing another high? Really, we wanted to hold the golden pocket or golden pocket 786 area. So if we turn on both those, you can see that is exactly where we're holding. We're holding golden pocket 786 area. Golden pocket was in alignment with a naked weekly point of control and your range point of control, and the value area low was in alignment with the 786 Fibonacci. We are seeing a very nice reaction from this level. What we could then say is maybe this isn't done yet. Maybe this was a kind of running flat corrective move in here in a wave 4, and we're going to get one more impulse to make one more new high in a wave 5. What I like about this is if we're looking at, let me go ahead and hide this. If we're looking at from the highs of the range, of this range that we've been in for the past couple of weeks, you can see we SFP'd the highs on Tuesday. So our actual high is on Tuesday. 74.81 compared to 74.74. It is higher. Just barely, but it is higher. So from that high, we can see very clearly a 3-wave corrective move to the downside. Now we are breaking the lower, these lows in here, meaning that we can't be counting this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless it's some sort of contracting diagonal. And because we're starting to break these previous lows in here, there's a couple scenarios, but the most likely scenario is that this was a 3-wave corrective move that's done, and we're going to continue up here. If we do make a lower high, then we would have to be looking at this as a double 1, 2, a wave 1, a wave 2, a secondary wave 1. Whoa, what just happened? A wave 1, wave 2, secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2, and then we're going to get the big breakdown in a wave 3, and then we would be looking for some 4 5s to come in, maybe coming down to $45, $46. There's a problem with that though. It's not an invalidation, but there is a problem with that. First off, if you look at a double 1, 2 impulse, your primary wave 1 and your primary wave 2 are generally longer in both time and price than your secondary wave 1 and your secondary wave 2. And if we look at this, you can see your secondary wave 1 is longer in time and price. And at the moment, our secondary wave 2 is about the same length as your primary 2 in time and price, but it depends on if we keep pumping or not. So, because of that, it lowers the probabilities that this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to nuke to the downside in a wave 3. To me, that means that this is far more likely to be a three-wave corrective move that's done. We're holding a higher low above $54, and we are now starting to impulse to the upside. If we zoom in on the lower time frames, we do have, I guess the volume is not the nicest on this breakout yet, but it is starting to increase a little bit here. What we do not want to reject from is between our golden pocket and our 786 of this move down. So if we pull a Fibonacci retracement from the highs at 63.29 to the lows that we made today, you can see we're finding some resistance right now at the golden pocket. We also had some internal liquidity from this high right before this mega dump here. Not mega dump, but dump. This liquidity into the golden pocket. And then if we even came a little bit higher at the 786 Fibonacci, this 786 Fibonacci, if we start to break and close even like 4-hour candles or 2-hour candles above this high, above like 62, then I would say it's very likely we're in an impulse to the upside that is going to continue pushing, right? If we're going to break above that, close some candles, we might get a small retrace, but I think we're going to get something like that. Because this zone here is also super, super important. We have our value area high of our range there. We have our 786 Fibonacci from the internal high to the lows. But if we pull of the entire three-wave corrective move, of this entire three-wave corrective move, if we pull our golden pocket, you can see that your golden pocket is also going to be right at that level. So golden pocket, 786, value area high. You also have a fair value gap in here. Let me go ahead and turn on the fair value gap. You'll see that we have a fair value gap that would fill right into the value area high. And we also have, I believe there was a naked daily point of control in there. Maybe it was, okay. Sorry, guys. I've been looking at so many different options right now that I'm mixing some stuff up. So no naked dailies in there. Still a very, very good resistance. So for you, for those of you that are watching Hype, we want to start closing candles above, really above 62.2, about 61.8 to 62.2. If we can start getting above that, then I think we're very likely to be off to the races and to get new highs coming in. Now, we do have to watch for a rejection here. Even if this is going to be an impulse to the upside, we could see our wave one ending in this zone. We get a pullback to golden pocket in a wave two before exploding in that wave 3, 4, 5. And remember, on the higher time frames, we're looking at the potential of still making one more high. The bearish scenario is that we are done, guys. The bearish scenario, let me go ahead and get rid of some of this here. Bearish scenario is that our 5-wave impulse is completed. Wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we are building up some 1-2s in here to see that big crash. Maybe this 3-wave corrective move, 3-wave corrective move. This is where we could look at a larger wave 4 correction, right? And then 3-wave corrective move, some sort of WXY correction, and then you impulse up. But in the bearish scenario, we ended our 5th wave here, and we're building a bunch of 1-2s in here. And then you get that crash, and then you start seeing those 4-5s come in towards the end. So for me, if you're long on Hype right now, if you're long from the 786 or the value area low, or even if you long the reclaim of the POC, I would definitely be watching that 61.8 to about 62.2 for potential resistance and potentially a swing short opportunity on this thing. And that swing short opportunity could bring us down to our golden pocket. And let me just change this to right there. Into our golden pocket area. Just want to check this. That is going to be a 70% move. So no non-log golden pocket. Let's make sure non-log golden pocket. So I would say actually golden pocket's going to be at 48 to 47. And then your value, your 786 at around $44 is more important because that's going to be the back test of your previous range value area high. So in my opinion, this support level in here is a little bit better than this support level, but we probably do have some sort of point of control from this little range at the golden pocket. If anything, it's probably a high time frame order block. Yeah, it might even be a daily order block in there. No, not daily. Let's see. You do have that 8-hour order block. And actually the 8-hour time frame is really good to look at order blocks. So you can see that 8-hour order block. I guess it's already been filled though. And we do have some bear dips. We have some pretty aggressive bear dips. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs, money flow draining out. But on the other hand, within more locally, that we should have been expecting a bounce here because we have local bull divs on NAMI. So in my opinion, we just need to be watching. If you're long on hype, be very aware of that 61.8 to 62.2. That is where I think we could see the major rejection and a major drop to the downside. Also, on the higher time frames, we're looking at this from the lows at $25. Now, I know this is Coinbase. Other charts have more price action history, but really that low's a macro low anyway, so that is going to be important to pay attention to. So if we're looking on the daily time frame and we're looking at this as an ABC correction or corrective move, we could be pulling that it's a running flat. So if we're looking at this being a A wave, this being a running flat and a B, you want to put your third pivot right there at where the B ends. You can see we're rejecting from that 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extinction target. Let's just do this. Let's see if we have more. Yeah, and it's also going to be the top of the channel, guys, or the top of the pitchfork. We have this pitchfork here. Looks like we got that bounce right where we wanted to for our wave 4. This is a little bit disturbing that you can see right here. This was a support level we were looking at last week. And why was this a support level? Because we were looking at this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then a wave 5. So the fact that we did bounce exactly from that 382. There we go. We bounced exactly from the 382, which is your common wave 4 target. And then we made new highs in what looks like to be an impulse. We could zoom in a little bit closer in here, but I can kind of see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. It really could be done, guys. And be very, very aware right now of rejecting at 61.8 to 62.2. Top of the pitchfork. Oftentimes at the top of these macro pitchforks, you will reject. And in the more bullish case scenario, or in that bearish case scenario, excuse me, looking at that corrective move, yeah, we did take out the all-time highs, it looks like. I wonder if there's more price action. But this, if this was a 3-wave corrective move to take out the highs, actually it would be, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? An impulse to the upside. You have your impulse to the upside, and then from Coinbase, this is the low, and we're looking at that, I guess, being a 4 and a 5. The bad thing about that is you do have overlap between your wave 1 highs and your wave 4 lows. So we actually can't go with that count. I'm just seeing that right now. 1, 2, you can't say this is a 3, 4, 5 because there's overlap here. Contracting diagonal, maybe it could be some sort of contracting diagonal. You can have overlap in a contracting diagonal, but it doesn't really work. We just need to be aware, guys. This range in here, this was our previous range that lasted about 130 days, so like, you know, half a year. If we fall back below the value area high at $48, that is when we can get sucked down to much, much lower prices. And you would still expect to see a bounce around 44, 45. But I would just be wary there. Let me go on to the weekly. Hyperliquid is a very good model, and I know a lot of people are very excited about the model, and it really kind of overtaking even Solana's ecosystem with the way the actual model works and how much profit. I think they were generating $54 million a month in revenue. So very good model for Hyperliquid. Honestly, this is one of the better projects in my opinion in crypto. And it could see continued upside. It could see real growth like kind of like Solana did back in, you know, the early 2020s, 2021. We did have many bull divs. All this was that rounded bottom. You could see the nice multiple drives of bull div. We're crossing into the 1 hour on Anami, and even on Market Cipher, you can see we have regional bull divs here. That was a horrible line, but yeah, this here, regional bull divs. And we just need to be aware, guys. We just need to be aware that we could be rejecting not only right now from the golden pocket, like the most bearish scenario is we're rejecting right now. The high that we just put in is the high we're going to reject. Because it is still possible that this is going to be a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3s, and then you get your 4, 5s coming in. Even coming up to 1, 2, 1, and coming up to that 786 at 61.8, you could still see that happen. I'll keep you guys updated in the Telegram on Hype, what's going to happen here. You can also pull your volume profile of this upper range. Just pay attention because if you do start to reject, once again, that 786 is very close to the value area high. And if you start to reject, golden pocket's very close to the value area high. 786 is going to be just above it. I would say this area right in here is the most important resistance area that we want to start breaking above. And now that I'm on the Bybit chart, I really don't like how we bounced perfectly right here in a nice 3-wave corrective move down. That means that this really could have been that wave 4. Wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5. Not looking too good there for the bulls. All right. Chillin' Chichon. Chichon, what's up, man? Welcome in. I hope one of you is finally right with this bounce. Everyone is talking about a bounce from here. It's making me start to worry. I'm not talking about a bounce from where we're at, man. I'm talking about a bounce from 71.6. 71.6 to 71.2. Excuse me, 71.7 to 71.2. I think right now that we're in this 5th and final wave that started on Tuesday. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. We're in a flat right now for a wave 4, and I do think we're going to come down in a wave 5 to 71.7, 71 in this box, 71.7 to 71.2. So if you guys are looking, I mean, if we zoom in onto the 12-minute time frame, this does look like a flat in here. Right? You have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracting diagonal, your 3-wave move down here in a B wave. And then this is really hard to count in here. There's probably a couple 1, 2s in there. You know, then you maybe get your 4, 5s coming in at this little chop in here. But it does look like a flat in here. And if you start to lose, let's pull this volume profile. If you start to lose the highs, the value area high at 73, 280-ish, then I think we're going to come down to 71.7. Simple, in my opinion, it's kind of honestly simple as that. Yeah, so let you just be careful for that. Thank you. Yes, of course. No. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for the support. Elliott waves take a long time to learn properly, and I would say I'm still even in the learning process. It really takes years to get it down. Coin operated, much love, my man. I know that last time on Tuesday you were asking me, yeah, ASSTS Strive Inc. Yes, we can check that right now. And Time Attack, welcome in, my friend. Much love to you. Thank you for being here and thank you for modding for me. Is it just me and Hype making 50 million a month? Man, if you're making 50 million a month, good job on you. So I would say yes. Okay, ASSTS. Okay, that is Strive Incorporated. Is that a crypto USD? Let's see. I don't think that's a crypto, but I am not seeing it. Yeah, thank you, Time Attack. It's awesome, man. Glad to see you here. Coin operated is let's just do this. Let's try this. Strive. Oh, ASST. Okay. Let me know if this is the right one. Not much on the monthly, so it's only been around since 2023. Man, we are so close to taking we were so close to taking out those lows. Now, Nami is showing bull divs on the weekly because it's based off the candle bodies. So we do have lower lows on the candle bodies. Bull divs, I would be very wary of that. I don't like on the monthly, not on the weekly. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, cool. Got it. So we kind of have that monthly resistance up in this area. All right, and I would be looking at a volume profile of kind of this sideways price action in here. Running flat in 2, 3. Ooh. We have weekly highs right into the value area high. That's going to be important at 23.4. And then if we pull our golden pocket from the weekly high at 36 down to our lows. Golden pocket. Let me see how this looks off of log scale. Yeah, I would really be watching the SFP of those 23.4 highs into your golden pocket around $25 to $26. And what I would be looking at, you have your bigger weekly range in here, but we could pull a volume profile and look at kind of this corrective price action. Once this, clearly this is impulsive to the downside in here. So once that impulse ends, you could look at this corrective range. And yeah, pretty much you are coming up towards the highs of the range, the value area high and the highs of the range, or your internal highs, excuse me. I mean, I would say right now this does look a little bit impulsive. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and then you're in your fifth and final wave, and this could be some sort of contracting diagonal in here to create that high up into this general area. I would also just be pulling a channel because this is a trend in here. You can see this very nice trend. It looks like a lot of algo trading in here. So I'll zoom in onto the 4 hour and we'll pull that channel. Let me just bring this down here. Yeah, you could see how you had this big volume gap in here, and that's why you just pump straight through it. But you are coming up into some high volume nodes now. So chopping, you're still maintaining bullish price action, right? Bullish market structure, excuse me. Even more macro, you have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But even more locally, you're making bullish market structure here. So you have to go locally. The trend is your friend. You have to continue with this bullish price action. And I would be expecting to come up a little bit higher. Let's see if we're hitting. I'm sure we're hitting a golden pocket pulled from that 23.4 high down to the low. Yeah, you're kind of hitting into that. Well, you hit the golden pocket initially. You had this pullback. And now we're pretty much, let's see this from there. Yeah, we're pretty much coming up to that golden pocket 786 area. You have not actually hit the 786 yet, and you're flipping this golden pocket. You can see initial rejection, rejection again, and now you're breaking above it, flipping it to support. So I would expect at least to come up to the 786. But in my opinion, you're probably going to come up and you're probably going to sweep the highs around 23. I would say this zone here is the best zone to be looking, but obviously just above it, you have that golden pocket. So on the daily time frame, maybe you're looking at continuing up, hitting the golden pocket, but closing the daily candle at or below 23.4 in this zone. And then you might expect a pullback. You are creating some bear divs on the daily as well. Multiple drives of bear divs starting on the daily. Money flow is topped out on Market Cipher, and you have bear divs on money flow on NAMI. So you're getting towards the end of this move up from where $7. You're getting towards the end of it. I would say it's likely you continue chopping to make a couple more highs, but I wouldn't be expecting too much more on that. If you start to break above the value area high of this bigger range, actually this, hold on, let me see if I can adjust this volume profile. Kind of have this area in here. We have an upper volume profile in here. And there's not going to be much resistance in this move down because it was so aggressive. So we got to watch for a couple things. First of all, always liquidity. So 23.4. But let's say that this does somehow break up in here. Like we're going to see a bigger impulse, 1 2s, 1 2s, you know, and a big push up. We have to always watch for liquidity. And these are the actual range highs, right? At around $36. But I would really be looking for this move up to end in this general area. You can see that most of your price action of this asset, you have two ranges, two fair values, balance zones. You have an upper balance zone, which is these guys, and then you have your lower balance zone, which is in here. And it looks like we're coming to test those highs of the upper or the lower balance zone. You have bear divs confirmed already. How does the weekly look? Yeah, and weekly is confirming some potential. Let's see, is that bear divs? No, it's like a double top here, but money flow is looking like it could be topping out relatively soon here. So I would just be very careful because it does look like you could get a pullback from like 23 to 26. All right. What was the other one I was gonna? Oh, guys, ZEC. Of course, coin operated. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. So, guys, on why is that not working? There we go. ZEC. We were talking about the level of support. If we lost this, not the, we were looking at this upper range, and if we lost the golden pocket pulled from this low to this high, then we were likely to dump down to our bigger support level, which was this guy in here, around 526 to 5. What was that? Not 520. 531 to about 513. And the bigger thing for ZEC is we knew we were towards the end of a daily impulse, right? We knew that from this low at $300, we were towards the end of a larger impulse. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and our wave 5 came right up to the 1.236 fifth wave target. Now, in order, we still could be of a larger impulse. Man, I really don't like how this is a 3-wave corrective move in here. We would have to say all of this is some sort of corrective move, and then you would have to start the impulse from here. But a 1, a 2, a 3, and then all of this could be a 4 and a flat, and then you're looking for a new high. And then, of course, that would also extend this 1, 2, 3, and then you have a larger 4th flat, and then a 5th wave here. But that's less likely, in my opinion. It's likely that we could be topping out on ZEC. And part of the reason we hit our 5th wave target, we've now fallen back inside our volume profile. We did come to the value area low. And it's also the back test of the pitchfork band. So let me clean this up just a little bit here for you guys so we can see that. I'm going to get rid of this naked daily because we tapped it. That was at 527. You see I had an alert there. I did let you guys know when we were hitting it yesterday. But this is also the back test of your bigger range. You can see this bigger range in here. We were breaking out of this range. We back tested it on Friday, May 15th, which was also a back test of the pitchfork band. You made new highs because it held. We're back testing it again for a second time. And if we do hold it, we could make new highs, and we could be starting that selling exhaustion towards the end where you see this channel structure form. So I'm saying it's a decent area to be looking for a long, but locally my bias would be I'm looking for a long to make a lower high. And the reason why is because from our highs, we do have a 1, 2, 3. We almost came down to the 1.618. You can see we barely front ran the 1.618. Now, the big thing is in an expanded flat correction, there is in an expanded flat, if we come up and hit the 0.9 on that B wave or a 2 wave. So let's check to see if we hit that. We'll go there. We'll put in our 886, and then we'll just change that to a 0.9. So we've hit that. We've hit the 0.9 Fibonacci. So now we can say that this is possibly a flat. So this would be a move down, an A, and then you'd have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. You get your corrective move in a B, and then this would be a C wave to the downside. Could we count 5 waves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you can. And I'll zoom in on that to show you guys that in just a second here. And this could all be an A, B, C, where you came down, and in an expanded flat, you sometimes will come down to the 1.618. It's very strong support, guys. It's our macro value area high back test, bullish back test. It's our value area low of this upper range. Value area low, bounced perfectly from it. It's our pitchfork band, and there was a naked daily point of control there. So definitely strong support right now where we're at. But I'm saying I don't know for certain which scenario, if the bullish or the bearish scenario is going to play out. So in that case, if you're longing this zone, looking at your retrace, your golden pocket retrace. And if we pull that volume profile again, you can see your value area high is going to be right where the golden pocket retrace is, 622 to 627. So in my opinion, if you longed in this area, I would at least be taking some profit. And I let you guys know about this already in the Telegram, 622 to 627, because you could see that big move down from here. Let's zoom in on the 1 hour chart. And on the 1 hour chart, you can see very nicely that this impulse could be done. So first off, you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your impulse in an A wave. This is a bit kind of weary to count, but you can see a 3-wave move in there. And then from this high, a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5. You have your 5-wave moves in here. And now that this C wave or two might be done to the downside, you're looking for a corrective move in here. And generally that corrective move will come up to a lower high around golden pocket. With the golden pocket being the value area high, this area here, if you are long, I would, and I'm not a financial advisor, I don't give financial advice. This isn't financial advice, but I would strongly be considering taking profit in this area and strongly considering hedging short in this area. If we break above that, then we could start saying, hey, let's start looking up towards that midline and even taking the highs of that last major high at 644 or 744, excuse me. It is a shame that we front ran the weekly. We did front run the weekly there, but it is what it is. You know, it's because we were hitting our 1.236 for our fifth wave. The most bearish scenario is we could just reject from the POC right now and go right back down. Let's see, is that where, all right. Generally, after an impulse finishes, you'll at least make it up to the 382, but we do have to pay attention to that POC. Two-hour time frame, you do have very slight bull divs developing. Money flows curving to the upside on NAMI. 1 hour, you can see some nice bull divs. Money flows bottomed out, curving to the upside. Bull divs, money flows crossing into the green. And on the 4-hour chart, you have bull divs on NAMI. Money flow curving to the upside. Market cipher bottomed out, big green dot. So this was at least a level to be expecting some sort of bounce. Yeah, near. We'll definitely go through near. Thank you for that. And welcome in, Sigerm. We are a major make it or break it for crypto alts. Yeah, I agree, Time Attack. Major make it or break it zone for crypto and alts and for Bitcoin as well. Just with USDT dominance, like breaking out of this 3-month channel. And I've been saying this the whole time, guys, that we've been analyzing this channel on USDT dominance. The whole time we've been analyzing this corrective channel, I've been saying, be careful because this looks like a corrective move. And sure enough, it's that overall zigzag correction on the daily time frame. Yes, there's a lot of chop in it. It's dominance. There's a lot of chop in here, but you have that 3-wave move and you're bouncing from the 382. The 382 acts as strong support in a strong trend. And so far, I would say this has been a pretty strong trend. Breaking out of the channel now. Pretty big that you're breaking out of the channel. Yeah, let's just see what happens here. We have our market structure break bullishly also by taking out this lower high. You're breaking market structure bullishly. So we've been in a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs. Now, by breaking that, you could make a higher low and then continue. Okay, well, let's go through near real quick. Near USD. Now, unfortunately, near is getting a pretty aggressive dump, but we were looking on near at that impulse, right? A wave 1 running flat and a wave 2, and then your wave 3, 4, 5, right? We came right up to the 1.618, but also on near, I have to say, if this is all a wave 1 in here, a contracting diagonal and a wave 1, our wave 2 correction is a running flat again. You have that internal high, internal low. This is a running flat. So this would be the start of your 3rd wave. Now, inside the start from here, I see a nice impulse in a wave 1, corrective move in a wave 2, impulse in a wave 3. That's why we were looking between 240 and 222, because we're looking for a pullback in a wave 4 before seeing a wave 5. And that could just be to complete the bigger 5-wave impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe coming up to 364 in a wave 5. If Bitcoin's really going to nuke, that's probably not going to play out. So the bearish scenario, we would have to say that this was a overall 3-wave corrective move, and now we're going to dump. We are back inside of our previous range that was a year long. We're back inside of it, and you can see right around the 0.5 Fibonacci is the back test of the value area low of that previous range. So we are still, overall, I would still have to say I have a bullish bias on near. Let me throw that on there. That was our value area low. Let's do this. Come in here, previous range. Value area low, we'll put that on the right. So our previous range value area low is right around our 0.5. But for near, we are rejecting from the 1.618, and that is your wave 3 target. Now, your wave 3 target doesn't have to end there. That was pulling it from this low to this high to this low because it's a running flat. Coming up to the 1.618. That is often where wave 3 ends. Now, could we zoom in on this move up? And could we count 5 waves in here? There is a way to count 5 waves in there. It is not the best as far as your 4th wave, though. So let me go to the 4-hour time frame, and we're going to be looking at this. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and then this could be your 5 in a contracting diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you could count your 3rd wave being completed. It did end right where it was supposed to. And then we could be looking at that bigger pullback. We could even be looking at something like this, a WXY, a much bigger pullback in a wave 4, because we want our wave 4 to be about as long or longer than our wave 2 corrective move, 4 or 5 days or so. And then you could see that move up to 355 to 364. And that reason I'm looking at that up there, guys. I know this chart is kind of messy, but it is a macro golden pocket. You can see at 364 to 393 is a macro golden pocket pulled from the last major weekly high to the low. It's our golden pocket. And also it would take out all of these range highs. You can see in this previous range right here, we have a bunch of semi-equal range highs right in here. We also have a little bit lower here, a little bit lower here. But to sweep all of the liquidity from this range right into that weekly level, there's a weekly level there. You can see your previous highs are there at 364. And that 364 is also the start of your golden pocket. I am a little bit surprised we didn't make it up to 308 because that is the value area high of your previous range in confluence with that weekly level. Now we still could. This could be a 3 that's not completed, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to barely peak up and hit that value area high. And weekly as your 3rd wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, right? So we'll keep an eye on this. You're seeing a pullback pretty much where we wanted to see the pullback. We did wick quite a ways past, unfortunately, we wicked quite a ways past that 240 level. That 240 level was good for me because it was a daily level and it was where your 382 is. And for me, near had been in such a strong trend. The 382 often bounces you in a strong trend. So we are breaking down past it, and actually it looks like we're trying to flip it into resistance. So the next level I'd be looking at is around 222 to 221. And that is going to be your 0.5 Fibonacci and wave 4 target. Yeah, and guys, if we lose that, I mean, there is not much that is going to be holding us up in here. And that would, if we really lose that, then I would say 1, 2, 3, or ABC expanded, and then you dump. We see it all the time with altcoins, these expanded 3-wave corrective moves, then dumps. Look at ICP if you don't believe me. But yeah, and then what we could do, even now that we're breaking back inside this previous range, we could even pull a volume profile combining the two ranges. Yeah, and that's not good right there, kind of falling back underneath. So, and you can see once again that low volume gap in here till you get down to about this chunk of price action. Really, we need to hold 222 to 221. Let's go on to the 1 hour time frame. Let's see if we're seeing any naked daily points of controls down in that zone. Nope, unfortunately, we have some a little bit lower. 208. Yeah, unfortunately, nothing there. We can also pull a volume profile and look at this kind of as like a head and shoulders type of pattern. Remember, a head and shoulders is a topping reversal pattern. Okay, we're flipping the POC. It looks like we're maybe trying to break above it, maybe flipping it into resistance. We're in that process right now. But this would be the zone then for me. From the 0.5 down to the value area low. You don't want to lose that. Your naked daily point of control is probably going to be where the golden pocket is. Let me take this and we will add on our yeah. So your naked daily point of control is going to be right where that golden pocket is. But remember, if you hit that, yes, you could see a bounce from there, but it would mean that it would invalidate the 5-wave move, right? It would invalidate this as a 1, 2, 3. You can't say 4 and then 5. You can't, because if your wave 4 hits the golden pocket, it's very, very rare. Pretty much it invalidates it. Now, I do like that support level though. You have a naked daily point of control just above it, and you have liquidity. Anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, pay attention to it. And that's kind of our range, right? And if we are going to see a kind of left shoulder, head, and then we come down there, we bounce, I'd be looking for a right shoulder. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then dump. So I would still potentially look for a long from there, but I would be planning to take profits around the value area high, around wherever your golden pocket's going to be. And we'll pull a theoretical golden pocket. This is completely theoretical right now, but from the high, and I'm just going to throw it right on the 0.65 Fibonacci. Yeah, you can see that's exactly where your golden pocket would be, right at that value area high. That's also the back test of the pitchfork band, or the pitchfork. So 260 to 265-ish, let's say. I will actually set that. That's a trade I would still be willing to take, guys. Even if it's a bearish case scenario, I would be looking for a long on the reclaim, probably of the 0.618. Looking for a long, my stop would go below wherever the low would be, and I would be targeting the golden pocket. So that could be a very nice risk to reward scalp long or day trade long position. But then once we get up to here, I would be looking for the giga short, right? You're looking for the giga short, probably all the way back down to backtest this value area high. And I wouldn't put my stop above this high. I would wait for a rejection, and I would put my stop above wherever the wick is there. And then that would also be a very nice swing short. And this is how trading works, guys. You can see that this is a smaller move, but the risk to reward ratio is pretty much the same as this risk to reward ratio, even though this would be a bigger dump to the downside, because it's always based off your stop loss, how tight you can get in there. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. If you do get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, please like the channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do want to take a second real quick to shout out the partners of the channel. Main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to join. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade within the futures market, whether it's USDT or the altcoins, guys. All these trades that we're taking on the exchange, you can actually add extra bonus money. So I think that's a really good incentive. And they're also giving some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. If you deposit $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus. Most exchanges only give you 20%. And they're giving you 20% deposit bonuses up to $1,000 deposit and 10% deposit bonuses up to a $20,000 deposit. So if you deposit 20K, you get 2K in free bonuses. That's pretty dang good. I've also partnered with BYDFI to create the Telegram community. It is a private community, but it is free. All you have to do to get into the community is join BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description and deposit a minimum deposit of $100 or more. You can deposit more if you want to get some of the bigger rewards. And once you've done that, you click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram verify channel, type in /verify and then your user ID for BYDFI, your BYDFI user ID. It's probably going to be a string of letters and numbers for you guys, but that'll get you into the Telegram. Now, we are going to be making some changes soon to the Telegram as far as it'll still be free to get in. You guys will still have access, but the only way to maintain access to the Telegram is to be actively trading on the BYDFI platform. Because we've noticed there are quite a few people that have deposited either after getting accepted have just withdrawn the money, or they're not actively trading. And BYDFI does do a lot to maintain that Telegram for me, and they need to make it worth it. Also, for me as well, I would like it to be worth it for me as well. I spend a lot of time and energy posting in that Telegram, trying to keep you guys updated, trying to let you guys know about the trades that I'm taking. Set alerts on a lot of altcoins, and I always try to let you guys know when we're hitting those alerts, whether it's a trade for me or not. So we are trying to incentivize you guys, if you sign up for the Telegram, to actively trade at least, a couple times a month, even if it's only a couple times a month, to actively trade on BYDFI in order to stay in. Now, that is not a hard rule yet, but it is probably going to be coming. I told BYDFI I want to give you guys maybe a 30 to 60 day notice on that. And that's the first partner of the channel. Second partner of the channel is another non-KYC exchange. It's Blowfin, and Blowfin is offering a VIP one for 30 days. If you deposit $5, you can get a $10 voucher, and they're giving some pretty good initial deposit bonuses all the way up to, if you deposit $10,000, you can get a $1,000 futures bonus for free. I do have two KYC partners, MEXC and Bybit. Bybit is offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. And then lastly, we have NAMI Trading, which is this momentum and money flow indicator at the bottom of your screen here. And I use this for my entry confirmations on my trades. As we were coming down yesterday on Bitcoin down to 73.8, well, first of all, we busted straight through it. But I was looking for a potential SFP of the 74.2K lows into that 73.8. And if we were seeing bull divs, we were seeing some, actually at the time you were seeing some bull divs, but locally they had been invalidated as you were coming down and busting through that. You can see here, like bull divs confirmed, but then right here, as we were breaking down, they invalidated, and you want to see those bull divs continue. So I use it for my entry and exit confirmations on trades. Now, since I've been using it, my profit margins have drastically increased because it gets me into the trades that are more probable to play out, and it keeps me out of the trades that are less probable to play out. And it also lets me know, like say if I was short, it also lets me know as we're coming down, if we're coming down to support and I'm seeing bull divs, hey, take some profits. Don't get too greedy. So it's really been helpful. I've partnered with NAMI to get you guys 50% off. If you do click the affiliate link in the description below, and when you're checking out on the website, type in Divine50 in the discount code promotion box, you can get 50% off that. Yeah, he needs that commission when you get liquidated. Guys, I really do think the Telegram is a win-win for everyone, because first off, by signing up on BYDFI, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. They have also lowered the VIP levels here for BYDFI. They have lowered these. If you sign up, you're automatically in VIP 2. And as soon as you trade more than $5 million in within 30-day period, as soon as you trade, instead of 20 million, they lowered this to my community only for $5 million. And if you trade more than $5 million of total volume within 30 days, they'll bump you up to VIP 3. And you get some really, really good fees on your trades there. So you get extra, you can earn up to 8,100 extra just for trading on the exchange and USDT or Bitcoin bonuses. You get VIP 2 automatically, but they've also reduced the amount you need to trade by 75% in order to get to VIP 3. And you guys get discounts on every single trade you take. So it's a win-win. And you also get access to the Telegram where I keep you updated on Bitcoin and my trades that I'm taking. I let you guys know when I'm entering and exiting trades. And for you, it's free because you're depositing money on the exchange and trading on the exchange, but it's your money and it's your profits. You're not paying me. You're not paying BYDFI. All I get from this is a percentage of the trading fees that you would already pay to the exchange anyways, whether that was BYDFI, Blowfin, Bybit, Binance, whatever. When you do a trade, you have to pay a fee. So I do think it's a win-win for everyone. And I try to make it that way, guys. I really do try to be free, open, honest, transparent with you guys always. Okay, let me see. And where were we at here? We are a major maker. Oh, on Link. Yes, Time Attack. I'll look at Link. We need to hold or we are going to get acceptance back into the low range. Okay, let's look at Chainlink real quick. Actually, it's... Yeah, we're coming down to the POC of the range. Now, one thing that I would say, just like with Bitcoin, is finding reacceptance back within this 3-month range. The fact that we've already found reacceptance back below the value area low is a very bad sign to me. You did reject from your pitchfork band. Now, remember, we were breaking below the pitchfork band, and then when we got back inside of it, we were looking potentially for that continuation up to the lower band of the pitchfork. Our golden pocket pulled from the low range lows all the way up to the range highs are coming in at the value area low of the range, and it's also at the bottom of the pitchfork. So now that we have found reacceptance on high time frames, let me just go to the daily. Now that we found reacceptance back within this pitchfork, you can see the last major range, the upper band was holding as support. We lose it. The bottom of the pitchfork, yes, there was some chop around it, but it was holding as support, especially in the second half of this range. You came up in a 3-wave corrective move. You rejected that pitchfork band. So now if we come back down, the level you need to hold is like 850, like 860 to 848. This has to hold. If it doesn't, then if it does, you could see us continue to chop in here, this range to extend. If it doesn't hold, you're very likely to take out the low and probably come down to your macro range POC, which is like a 4-year long range POC. And what I would say is you're hitting the 3-month long range POC today. We're seeing a decent reaction from that, but you've already confirmed reacceptance. You can see we were chopping, kind of trying to hold it. We lost it 1, 2, 3 days in a row where we tried to get back above the value area high. You couldn't, and that's when you see your aggressive dump come in over the past couple of days. Let's pull a golden pocket from our 820 lows to our highs, and we'll put the golden pocket and the 786. So we're bouncing from the 786 and your point of control. That actually is a decent level. Like, that's your must hold level. If you don't, you're likely to at least come down to the golden pocket here. Overall, what I would say on this is a little bit more messy than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, there's a very nice contracting diagonal in here. You get your 3-wave pullback, and then there's a very nice clear impulse on Bitcoin. But on Chainlink, this looks a little bit more corrective, like a 3-wave corrective move in here. It would be a nightmare to try to count all of this, but let's just say that this is going to be a bigger extended, WXY correction, or an ABC, let's say an ABC, and then you get another extended range in here. That is possible, especially because we're at the bottom of a macro pitchfork. But let's think in terms of accumulation. We know that, especially in bull markets or bear markets, we like to see accumulation, right? This was our last accumulation on Chainlink. Very, very nice accumulation. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, a model 1 accumulation, you get your expansion. The low that we're seeing recently, a few months ago in February, is our first major low. So if we do break this down and take the low out, even if it's just coming down to $7.03, hitting your macro POC, you could be that could be the tap 2. You could get a move back inside, maybe even back up towards the highs of this range before seeing another. And this could be a repeat of this kind of accumulation in here. We could get that repeat for the bear market in here. So that's what I would say. It's probably likely that we are going to take out the low just because we're back inside the volume profile. Anytime you break out of a volume profile and this was 3 months, remember, this was about 3 months. You break out of the volume profile. If you fall back inside, you have a high likelihood of filling it at least to value area low, which is at 848. Actually, hold on. Am I doing that right? Yeah, it is. It's at 848. And then if you lose that, you're likely to pretty much grab the lows of the range. If you lose the value area low of the range, you're likely to grab the lows of the range. We can also pull this volume profile in here. And we can pay attention to that value area low at pretty much 609, 608, 609. $610, sorry. So this is going to be, let's see, accumulation value area low. Accumulation range value area low at 610. Okay, unfortunately, we've already bounced from the 786, pulled from the last bear market low to our cycle highs. You've hit the 786. That's why we bounced there, your macro logarithmic 786. And it was also the accumulation range POC. You can see this accumulation range. And here's the theory behind that, guys. When you see the big money accumulating for years, this was like a 2-year long range. When they've been accumulating for years in this range, the fair value for that range was our lows that we saw in February. They are willing to defend or buy more at fair value. If they're overall macro long-term bullish on the asset, when it goes back into its fair value of the accumulation zone, you will see buys come in. That is why we saw a very strong bounce in February where we did. Now, if we're going to continue to remain in the bear market, then you could still see another local low come in, but it's pretty much like a new accumulation range that's forming. I would say, let me grab this. Yeah, and your 1.236 is going to be right down there as well. So in a larger corrective move, if this is going to be a larger corrective move, you could end that correction with a range down here, an accumulation range down here, and make one more macro low. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Time Attack, on that. What I would be very careful of, look at money flow starting to come out again on the weekly time frame. It would be so nice if we got a quick flush down. Like, let's say this takes 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks, right? You take out that low, you are going to have some very nice weekly bull divs on this thing. Again, multiple drives of weekly bull divs on this thing. So if we come down, you can see I have an alert already set at 703. I plan to buy more spot on the next macro low, and could be looking for a potential swing long on the next macro low. Daily time frame, our money flow is draining out pretty aggressively. We didn't actually have bear divs at the top, which is very interesting. We did not have bear divs. But money flow draining out on market cipher and pretty heavily crossed into the red on NAMI. The big thing is we are starting to see some bull divs. Not quite yet. We're starting to. The low that we hit today was obviously a major level. Our range POC in confluence with our 786 pulled from the last internal low to high. But your more important level by far is from your macro golden pocket, from range lows to range highs. You can see that golden pocket around 860 to 850-ish, let's say. It's also the bottom of your pitchfork. Let's see if we have any naked weeklies in there. No naked dailies. It doesn't go back that far, but I actually have them on the chart. We have a couple, 872, 860. Yeah, naked monthlies. Nothing there, guys. So I would say you really don't want to lose 848. You could wick down past it to grab liquidity, but you would want to close the daily candle at or above that value area low. I suspect though, if we kind of want to maintain bullish market structure, right? Like, so you have your low, your high, higher low, higher high. You want to maintain a higher low here in order to possibly see a higher high. You got, you're maintaining bullish market structure. If you do take that out, it's going to be a pretty high time frame break in market structure. Even though you still might get a nice bounce, I would be expecting liquidity grab, a bounce, something like that, and then the big dump. As far as the low we hit today, I mean, you are seeing a nice reaction. It was the 786 Fibonacci, and it was the POC. You don't really have nice bull divs, though. That's the thing. I guess, yeah, you don't really have nice bull divs at all. 2 hour, no. Let's go to the 4 hour. No on the 4 hour either. Let's go to our 1 hour. Yeah, on Market Cipher, or excuse me, on NAMI, actually not even really, just candle closes. I would say that I would be wary of a 3-wave corrective move in here and then a dump to hit that golden pocket. Looks like you have some 1-2s in here, like 1 2 1 2, your big third wave here, 4 5, triangle and a 4, and then this is your fifth and final wave to the downside as well. So within this fifth and final wave to the downside, if we're looking at this as your first 4 being a triangle, something like this that was a triangle, something like that broke down in a wave 4, you're in your fifth and final wave. What we would be looking at, that's the start of the fifth wave. 1 2 3 4, and then we would want to get one more low. Just like with Bitcoin, guys, it looks like we could get one more low. Bitcoin comes down to 71.7. At the same time, Chainlink's coming down to 860 to 848. That is your major zone of support where you could see a very nice bounce, even if it's going to create a lower high. And it would give you the potential for those bull divs to form, because these momentum waves that were created today are so deep. Look on the 4 hour. These momentum waves are very deep momentum waves. So if we get a quick, rejection and a quick move down, it could give you those nice bull divs. This is already, topping out, coming down. Could give you some nice bull divs in there. The ADHD trader, welcome in, man. Hello to you. I like turtles. Oh my God, that's awesome. Dude, ultimate meme, right? I like turtles. Yes, we did check hype. I can go look at it again just real quick. Hype USD. We're at a resistance area, guys. We really are now on hype. On hype, from the highs, and this is the range highs, just barely. It's just barely above this high, but it is the range highs. We have this 3-wave corrective move. We're bouncing from the value area low in the 786. If you look from the range lows to the range highs, you're coming down and bouncing from that 786 and value area low. And this is a nice little impulse here, but I would really be watching for, because if we're going to build some 1-2s, 1-2s, you could see that big dump come in. The big area we were looking at on hype was between 61.8 and 62.2. So if you pull a golden pocket from the range highs to the low we just made today, golden pocket is coming in at 61.8 or 61.5, 61.8 there. Yeah, I would say this is your zone of resistance. You're coming up to it just about now. If you get above it, you're going to make new highs. And the big thing we were looking at on hype was the 5-wave impulse could be done. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Your wave 4 bounced exactly where it was supposed to, at the 382 Fibonacci. And then that would mean you're creating some 1-2s in here, and then you get your big dump, and then you can create some 4-5s. That's the bearish case scenario. Bullish case scenario is that this was a corrective move, and you're about to go up, make new highs. You're coming up into that important factor right now on hype. Yeah, okay. I want lower so I can buy spot. Yeah, Crypto Wanderer, I think once, if you're talking about Bitcoin, I really, if you guys didn't watch yesterday's video, I highly recommend you watch yesterday's video. I covered the macro time frame price action on yesterday's video, but the bottom of our descending channel, so this is based off of the bear trend of the bear market, all-time high, 74K, new all-time high. The bottom of that pitchfork is going to be at $58,000 to $56,000, right? That is also our anchored VWAP from the bear market lows. This anchored VWAP is from 15,500. If we look at our 2-year long range, if we combined 2024's zone of balance with 2025 zone of balance, and because we've been back in 2024's for a few months, we can combine the two ranges. And when you combine the two ranges, you can see that the value area low is at $56,000. Okay, so this zone, 58 to 56, bottom of the pitchfork, and if this is going to be an impulse, right, a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, coming right down to the bottom of the pitchfork, grabbing the lows, it would give you also potentially tap 1, tap 2, you get a move up, you get a move back down, tap 3, and then you see expansion, right, to end the bear market. I think the next macro low is going to be super important support at 58 to 56. Also, if we go to our multi-cycle pitchfork, we are rejecting the bearish backtest of the lower band. And if we see an impulse down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming down, $58,000 is the bottom of our macro cycle pitchfork. So for me, there is a lot of confluence for that next macro low. Yeah. Third Ryan here. Awesome. You're saying ICP ain't going back to all-time high no more? No, I don't. What, the $600 all-time high? I definitely don't think we're going back to the $600 all-time high. Wasn't it like, let me see here on the weekly time frame. Yeah, it was all the way up at like $600, guys. When it first launched, I remember it first launched, but even even going up to 80. I don't think it, maybe up to 80. I don't know. But ICP, look at, if you want to talk about those aggressive three-wave moves, this is exactly what I was talking about, guys. ICP, very aggressive three-wave move, correct down to make new lows, right? So everyone in the world, probably me included, was thinking this was a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3. We were going to get a pullback in a 4, and then we were going to continue. But you get this three-wave aggressive move with the C wave being the longest, most explosive wave, ending on a high amount of volume, like they do oftentimes. And then you get this just grind, and everyone thinks, okay, it's going to make a higher low. Oh, it's going to make a higher low. Wait, it's going to be a double 1-2 impulse now. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, there 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. No, it doesn't. And it just keeps grinding and bleeding. So this is something that we could see on near. Right? We could see something like that on near. Now, we'd be looking at more of the weekly time frame for this being a running flat and a B, and then your C wave, where you have this very aggressive C wave, and then guess what? It just dumps all the way back down. Like, we have to be careful there. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. If you get any sort of insight from the live stream, please hit the like button for me. Okay, let me go ahead and jump back into this chat. Ahmed Sarif, welcome in, man. BYDFI is a non-KYC exchange. Yes, it is. Yep. It's non-KYC. All you need is an email and a password. It's asking for KYC to deposit. Huh. I'll have to ask about that, Ahmed. I can get back to my rep, and then if you want to come back next time, I can give you an answer on that. Montez D, welcome in. I mean, this may have nothing to do with the discussion at the moment, but I'm curious as why you don't give a heads up for gold on your strategy. I did. So I gave in the Telegram, I let you guys know we were coming down to the daily on gold. At the time, I was pretty busy. I was looking at a bunch of different things, but I also told you guys all last week and all this week that if gold came down to that daily level, this was the level I was looking at entering a long position. All week, I was telling you guys that this was the only level, and if last week too. And if we came down there and bounced from that level, that I would enter the long position. Now, I will say this. This was one of those rare times I did set a limit order here as well. I was feeling so strongly convicted about at least a small bounce from here that I had a limit order set, and that's how I got into that gold trade. But at the time, I did let you guys know in the Telegram we were hitting the daily. I didn't say, hey guys, I'm entering right now, but I was letting you guys know this is the support where I was looking. And if you guys, this was, yeah, if you guys enter, you enter. But what I'm looking at here on gold is potentially just continuing. This could be some sort of contracting diagonal in here. Three-wave move down to golden pocket, and then we could continue to get like at least a move, something like that, The very first thing I'm looking at on gold is the back test of the value area low. And I let you guys know about this in the Telegram earlier today. It's about 45.46 when you zoom in. 45.45, 45.46. As my TP1 on gold is going to be right here at 45.46-ish, 45.45. And then if we get back inside the volume profile, the next TP would be around 4,700. You can see we have our 786 Fibonacci there. Let me make sure that's good from the... Yeah, 786 Fibonacci is 4686. We have our smaller range point of control, our medium range point of control. It is also a naked weekly and a naked daily point of control up there. So that would be TP2. And overall, gold could keep, if we reject 45, 45, then we could keep bleeding down here. But I just like the reaction. We came down there. We saw the bull divs on the chart. Oops. 2 hour. Bull divs on the chart. You have Very, very slight bull divs on the chart here, but you can see them. More regional bull divs on the chart. Lower lows here, higher lows here. Eight-hour bull divs as we're making one low, two low, three low. Boom, boom, boom. Money flow curving to the upside. And you see the bull divs here as well. Another thing, guys, I have my chart. I share my chart in the Telegram, the live chart. And if I need to pin the link again, I will. So let me know. But you can go in on my charts and click on them and look for these boxes and look where I have alerts set. And then you could go copy that on your own chart if you want to. I don't know if the live chart shows Market Cipher B live. I think it does, like Market Cipher and NAMI live. So you can even go on the chart to see if there's confirmations as well. Okay, I mean, after losing 170 in the same area in 5 trades in the same area at the bottom, I realized mistakes through, but it's damn expensive. Yeah, so I get what you're saying, Mom Tesdy. If you keep getting stopped out, like you keep trying to knife catch each low, and I think you're talking about Bitcoin, but you keep trying to catch each low and you keep getting stopped out, and like one loss turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4. You know, it's very frustrating. That's why when we're seeing an aggressive trend to the downside, I haven't looked for long once in here. I have not looked for long once. Actually, I did at the naked daily point of control in the daily level, right underneath the golden pocket. But that was the trade I was looking to long, but I also didn't take it. And I went into the Telegram and I said, guys, we're not really seeing good confirmation to take the long. Remember, we had our golden pocket at 75.5 right here. And just below it, we had a naked daily point of control and a daily level. And on Tuesday's live stream, we talked about how it's highest likelihood for me that this was a double 1-2, a 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5. And so I said, it's likely we take out this low because we need another 5th wave to the downside. But I said, there is one scenario where you can count this as a 5-wave impulse that's finished. And if it is, you could bounce from this level and then start to go up and kind of create that inverse head and shoulders. So that's the only reason I was looking for a long there. But as we were coming down there, I posted in the Telegram, guys, we're hitting the naked daily, we're hitting the daily, but we don't see confirmations. And if you don't see confirmations, you don't take the trade. And sure enough, we only got the small bounce and continued. So that's another reason why I also look for proper confirmations. And even here today, I haven't taken a long from anywhere in here. First of all, we bounced at like what, 74.5 or 72.500-ish. We had a naked daily point of control. I was at least waiting to hit the naked daily. If we were seeing some bull divs when we hit the naked daily, like I posted in the Telegram yesterday, I said I think we could see a small move before coming here. And I probably would have attempted a scalp on that small move. But if we had confirmations, but I haven't taken a long yet today. I've seen not any real confirmation. And really, the only level I'm interested in is 71.7 to 71.2. Or if we break that, 68.8. But no, and Slick Shoes, I get what you're saying there, but I really do try to be there to walk you guys through everything. So, Mom Tesdy, I will do a better job at trying to keep you updated and be more clear in the Telegram. But a lot of times when we first hit the, like on gold yesterday on the daily level, when we were coming down and hitting it, as soon as we hit it, I wanted to alert you guys in the Telegram. So before I even considered entering a trade, actually, I had a limit there, I'll be honest. But before I even considered entering it, I alerted you guys so you guys were aware that we were at the level. And then after I alert you, sometimes I'll go in, I'll look at it and say, okay, hey, am I going to take this or am I not going to take this? There are times where I'll look at it like briefly and say, okay, we see bull divs. Guys, we're coming down to the level with confirmation. I'm going to enter and I'll let you guys know right away. Gold, by the way, on the low time frames does look like it's in an impulse to the upside, and it looks like it's not done. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. We're probably in a wave 4 pullback right now, and we get that 5th wave up to that area. So that's why I'm looking for that area as a potential TP. But if this is impulsive here, then we could look for a 3-wave pullback and then another impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come up to 47. And overall, on your higher time frames, you would still be maintaining bearish market structure, making lower highs and lower lows. An unknown company accidentally spent $500 million in one single month on Anthropic's AI tools after forgetting to set limits for their employees. Wow, that really sucks for them. Man, that might make them go bankrupt, huh? Okay. Jojo, what's up, my man? Good to see you in here as always. Like number 50 is mine. Well, thank you so much, Jojo, for liking the video, for the support. Yeah, guys, please do hit the like button if you're getting any sort of insight into the market from the live stream. I know we're not really looking at live trades at the moment. Well, I will say this. On ZEC, we finally broke market structure bullishly by taking out that lower high in here, especially on, like, I was looking on the 15-minute, I think it was. We broke this lower high right here. And so because we broke this lower high, we could continue up in bullish market structure, seeing a bigger bounce up to 627. The first level we definitely need to be watching is 569. And I also let you guys know this in the Telegram before I started the live stream. But this support level is really, really nice support level. So say we do something like this. Say we get this move up, we reject from the POC, and we come down and we kind of double bottom in here. Maybe we hit that naked daily point of control. If we see bull divs between these lows, I will be looking for a long down here, or really to add to the long position that I'm already in. But because I would be looking potentially for a bigger reversal, even if it's just up to 620-ish. So if you're not in a long from this area, I wouldn't be longing right now because you're coming right up into resistance. And we could potentially even look for a short up here. I mean, it's pretty dangerous to look for a short right now after such a big dump. It's pretty dangerous to look for a short, but you could be looking for 15-minute bear divs, right? If you come up here, you do this, and you're looking for 15-minute bear divs. Money flow looks really strong right now, but you can see we are starting to develop some bear divs on the 15-minute. We could also go to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, first off, this high is going to get taken out. This looks like a corrective channel. So 569-ish. Well, it's, oh wow, did we just have a volume profile shift? Here. Yeah, all right. So coming up to, like, let's say 569.7-ish, or let's just say 570, 569 to 570, we could look for that potential rejection. Yeah, 568 to 570, guys. 786 Fibonacci. It's also going to be your point of control of the range. Money flow does look pretty good, but if we zoom out to some of the higher time frames, 4-hour, NAMI showed bull divs, but market cipher's not, and money flow still looks pretty bad here. So if we're starting to see, and you can see this is trying to roll over right now, the money flow on NAMI. Let's see if 2 hours already rolling over. Nope, not quite. We just need to be really wary here because this is at the top of a major wave 5 target, right? We have from down at $300. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, and 5. And we also bounced directly from our 382 Fibonacci down here, just like Near did. And if this was the high, we can look at creating a distribution range up here. And so what we need to be looking at in distribution, this would be your tap 1. All of this is your tap 2. And maybe we're going to range in here a little bit more, create a double bottom and a range over the weekend. But then if we're coming up to this area next week and we reject, that could be your tap 3. This is your big distribution range right here. And then you're going to distribute down. And generally when you distribute down, you at least come to the golden pocket pulled from the low of the impulse to the high of the impulse. So we'll put our golden pocket 786. We'll make sure it's on log scale. Yeah, and you could be coming down all the way to 411 down to even maybe 350. But what I would be looking at is you can see your prior highs and your prior range in here. Value area high is going to be around golden pocket. POC is going to be around the 786. But the prior highs of the range, oftentimes when you break a range to the upside, if you dump, you'll retest the highs of the range or the value area high of the range. We'll look at where the highs of the range are at, the golden pocket. And this will probably take some time. It's not going to do this straight drop like this, even though it does like to do that on ZEC. But what I would be looking at is if we get the swing short from here, potentially watching this thing come all the way down to back test the golden pocket. And hopefully by then the bottom of the pitchfork will be aligned. And that could be a major TP. So we could be looking at something like a short position from up here. Stop would go, I wouldn't put it above the overall high. I'd be looking for a wick high somewhere. And then we'd be looking to come down to your golden pocket. A nice swing short opportunity. We could try to tighten this risk reward up depending on how it looks when we get up there. And then once we get down to 400, we could also look for a hedge long up here. You know, stop below wherever the low is. We could look for a hedge long to continue the trend, maybe even all the way up to that pitchfork midline. But there's not really right now for me, I don't really see a good trade on ZEC unless you're going to short the back test of the 786 and the POC at 569 to 570. And, yeah, it just, I don't know why TradingView does that. It shifts the POC depending on your time frame. But I mean, that's essentially where it's at. See, there you go. Essentially where it's at, 568 to 570. Create some bear divs on the chart. We'd want to see the money flow really starting to be rolling over. So it would actually be nicer if this chopped for a little bit longer and then got that move up and gave us time for and the money flow to starting to be rolling over. And we get that. And because you're still making lower highs and lower lows, you could look for a double bottom in here. Okay, I'm way far behind in the chat. Crypto King, thank you so much for the comment. Great show and channel. You got to fix these fees, though. Way too high. On BYDFI, if you deposit or if you trade a certain amount of volume, 5 million per month, you can get VIP level 3 fees. And this is not the actual, like, so they change these. I'm actually going to ask them if they'll give it. These are for normal people, but as soon as you deposit onto the exchange, you're automatically VIP level 2. If you trade more than $5 million, you get up to VIP 3. So normally you have to trade $20 million to get to VIP 3. They told me that it's 5 million for our community only. So I'll see if they can update this for the numbers for our community only. And then I'll give you guys that post on that once they do that. But I mean, I'm not sure what exchange you've been using, but I think the fees are pretty good. Oh, yeah, you do have to KYC to get the bonus, guys. That's the one thing. It's not just with BYDFI. With Blowfin, with Bybit, with any exchange, all these initial deposit fees, you'll have to at least KYC level 1 in order to qualify for the bonuses. So you can trade on the exchange without KYC, but if you want to be eligible for the bonuses, you do need to KYC level 1. ADA. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was going to look at ADA and Arbitrum. Yes. ADA USD. I don't know if I've checked this in quite a while, so man. We're losing the value area low of this range for the past 3 months. We rejected, by the way, the last time we looked at this, where was our box at, guys? Naked weekly point of control, golden pocket. And it probably, our value area high was probably close by back then. No, it wasn't, but that's where we were looking for the rejection. We got that perfect rejection. And by the way, on Solana as well, that $97 rejection, guys, perfect rejection. SFP at the range highs. I'll go back to 8, I promise. SFP of the range highs right at the top of the pitchfork band, and then now you're grinding down to value area low. Rejecting, you finally took liquidity at value area low. But on ADA, we are falling back inside the volume profile. We're even losing the value area low of the range. We have lost this daily level, so we can get rid of that. And we have a much larger range that's coming in. This range, this bottoming range on ADA goes all the way back to 2022. So pretty much a 3-year long range here on ADA. You can see we're at the value area low of that range. But we're even trying to lose that. And your POC is down here as well. Not looking too good. I would expect that we're going to take out our lows. And honestly, this is what we might see. ADA just might be a little bit ahead of Bitcoin. What we want to see in this zone is an accumulation pattern for the bull market, accumulation to end the bear market. Tap 1, range for a bit. Tap 2, range for a bit. Tap 3, you get that 3 tap pattern. Very similar to what I was just showing you guys on Chainlink. And then you get that explosion up in an expansion. So I would at least be looking now at taking out the lows. We're very close to it already. Let's see if we've tapped the 886. So going from the range low to the range high, let's turn on that 886 Fibonacci. We are now tapping the 886. Okay, so because we're tapping the 886 in a larger downtrend, we are in a much larger downtrend. If you tap the 886, even in a range, you have likelihood of taking out the origin. In this case, it's the lows. Another thing we've been looking at is a potential 5-wave move down from the highs at whatever this is, 132. Wave 1, wave 2, 3, you could be, well, actually, even in this here, it's probably not done with yet. We have 1, 2, 1, 2. You got all your big third wave here. You got a 4, a 5. All of this could be another 4, and then we need one more 5 coming in here. So looking for one more low. We can pull that target. $0.19 to 16 cents. Man, I would really hope it's going to be around 19, 20 cents. That like 19.8 to 20 cents. You're pretty much at all-time lows on this thing, guys. Like ADA, I don't know if it's a dead project now. I really don't know, but accumulating even in this entire range, if you're bullish on ADA long-term, accumulating down here isn't the worst thing. You could see massive expansion, even if it's just going to be to come up to like 50 cents or even like, you know, the 60, 75 cent area. It's at bear market lows. It's like all-time lows. But locally, what I would be saying is because we're hitting this 886 and we're losing the value area low, you're likely to continue to take the range lows. Now, on this though, and we're looking, this is our 3-year long range. So let me hide the 3-year long range. And we want to focus on our lower time frame range here. You can see now we've been below the value area low for 1, 2, 3 days. We've taken all the liquidity already. Actually, today, you just grabbed liquidity today and you're currently above it. This could give us a small bounce to backtest value area low or even POC. This, we need to shift it. I'll just hide that for a second. But this looks impulsive to the downside. This here looks impulsive to the downside. Let's zoom in on it and see if we can't get some structure out of that. Man, this is a bit tough. You could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracting diagonal in here. It might not even be contracting actually. No, it's not. So because you hit that bottom of the channel. Oh. Honestly, that's a bit tough for me to count, to be honest with you guys. But it definitely does look impulsive to the downside. And on the daily time frame, currently right now, this is a daily SFP. But even if we zoom out, let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see if this is a 4 hour. Not even a 4 hour SFP. We've spent multiple 4 hour candles below this low. What we could say is that you might see something like this. This breakdown here, you might be able to bounce and come up to 24 cents or 24.3 before continuing to take the overall low. But I would be, with pretty high certainty, I could say that we're probably going to take the low at 22 cents. And then coming down to that 19.8 cents was kind of your wave 5 target. Do we see bull divs on the 4 hour? No, not on NAMI right now, or not on Market Cipher. And even NAMI locally is invalidated them, but we do have some regional bull divs. Let's go to the 8 hour. Money flow looks like garbage. No bull divs. No bull divs. Money flow is still in the red. Yeah, I would say the low is not in. Even if you might be able to come up to backtest the value area low, but the low is likely not in. Daily time frame, no bull divs. You have the potential for slight bull divs, but look at how bad the money flow looks. So I would say no. I would say it's very likely we're going to come take out the lows. It might not happen for a few more days, but it's very likely. Yeah, and even your 15-minute that we're seeing right now, you're seeing bear divs develop on the 15-minute. So just watch that 24.3, you might get a rejection. Arbitrum came down and hit our naked weekly and our naked daily point of control at 10 cents. We were initially looking at potentially holding this golden pocket. The overall low that I was looking at is the POC of the range, because we've fallen back inside of our volume profile, just like Bitcoin, just like all the altcoins are doing. Let me just turn this only on 786. You can see that our 786 is going to be right on top of your POC, and it's also the back test of the channel now that we've re-entered back inside of our, and this channel, guys, is a huge channel for most of the bear market, right? Or for most of this. And I know this chart's going to look messy, so please excuse all that upper price action. But if you're looking just at the pink channel from the highs at 243, you can see we've been just grinding down inside of this channel. We lost the channel. We were able to get back inside the channel. So if we back test it and hold it, then we might be able to make a move up to the midline, which is where our next major 17-cent resistance is at. Golden pocket, naked weekly point of control, all those things up there. But locally, and we do have, unlike a lot of the coins, we already have a tap 2 on Arbitrum. You can see on Arbitrum, I'm looking for potential accumulation in here. We have a tap 1 here, a tap 2 here, and if we come down and we bounce here for a tap 3, that could be kind of your accumulation, and then you would see maybe at least a move up to the midline, 17 cents. Daily level, naked weekly point of control, golden pockets up there. The big thing with Arbitrum is you broke market structure bullishly on the daily time frame, right? We have broken out of the range. We broke the range highs. So let me zoom in on this. You can see this was your initial range highs in here at 12.3. And initially, you came up and you SFP'd those range highs. You got a small pullback, and you had your immediate time frame backtest of re-entering the channel. You held it, so you made new local highs. Then you backtest the value area high, you hold it, so you make new highs. Now that we're falling back inside of the range, it's likely you fall to the POC. The POC is just below us. It's our first support level at 99 cents, which is where your 786 Fibonacci is as well. If you lose that, guys, if we lose this support level at 99 cents, it's not going to look good for Bitcoin. Sure, could you bounce from the value area low at 0.9? Yeah, you could, but let's see. If that's the 886, then it could give us some hope. Yeah, 886 is down close to it. In sideways ranges, you often do get reactions from the 886. One thing I will say about this dump we've been seeing for the past couple weeks, it's on decreasing volume here. So there is a chance that we can hold a higher low and then continue pushing up. We really need to hold 99 cents. Let's just say that. 0995. 0995 to about 099. And you do have some potential bull divs now on the daily time frame on NAMI. You can see lower lows in here. You have multiple higher lows, and then this could even, if we come down to 99, could even give you another drive of bull div on the daily. Money flows coming up on the daily. Market cipher looks to have bottomed out, and your money flow is kind of rising in here. So yeah, I would say 0995, 099 is your level to hold. Oh, Jasa, what's up, man? Much love to you, dude. Looks like we're trying to break out on the immediate time frames. Let's see here. Let me go to Bitcoin. Yeah, we're breaking out of the very small intraday profile that we have. We're flipping the value area high to support and your VWAP to support. So that means, you know, like look at earlier today, VWAP rejection, you make new lows. Now that we're flipping it to support, it means we could make new highs locally. And if we're looking at this being a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, you could still be in a flat here in a 4 and then see that 5. So let's look at our targets for a wave 4 rejection. We want to pull it from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3. And I guess, yeah, because if this is going to be a flat, then you want to pull it to this low. Yeah, we still haven't even hit the 382 yet. So you could come up to 73.9 or even 74.3. Actually, you're likely to. And if this is a flat in here, or what we could do is pull this down to this low here, and then we could be looking at a larger 3-wave move. The third wave could be done. you see here, we have our big 1, 2, and then inside your third wave, you have a 1, a flat here, and a 2, 3, 4, 5. So your third wave could be done. And now we're looking on the bigger fourth wave. So we could be looking at something like this and then the pullback. So yeah, I would be looking. And if that's the case, we need to adjust this, yeah, down to this low here. So that was the end of the third wave. And now we're in a fourth wave corrective move. So we would want to be looking between 73.8 and 74.2 for a potential rejection here. Okay, that doesn't help us. And honestly, we're probably not going to have, yeah, you have a little order block in here, right around there. 1 hour order block around 74.2, 74.3. We'll have to see how this looks, guys. But as you're coming up there, you want to see low time frame bear dips. I'm not looking to short that, by the way. It's too risky for me after a big dump like this. It's too risky for me to try to short here just to come down to here, or to try to short here just to come down to here. Unless I see, like, let's say on the, you know, I'm looking at this on the 12-minute chart. I see this 3-wave move. We come up here. We have 12-minute bear divs here. We already reject. I would wait for us to reject. And then as soon as we break like a low time frame market structure, you know, as we're coming up here, you break low time frame market structure, then I would look for a small pull up, and then you would look for the short here, stop going above that high, and I would be looking to come down here. But you would have to really be on scalp alert, high focus, make sure you're on top of your game. Yeah, because for the larger, hold on, let's just look at this. You can't, you did, yeah, 272, 236. So in expanded moves, you're coming down between the 1.236 and the 1.382. You are kind of in that zone. Let's see, let's just do this. Let's get rid of all of this. 2, 6. And then we'll do, yeah, you're in that zone. And then on this this move up's kind of the same thing here. And so you can see that zone is around that 382. So this still could be a flat in here, guys, before dumping. We have a couple different counts. You know, if this is a 1, 2, 3, then this would be a flat and a 4, and then you would look for the 5. Or you could say that this little move down was part of the third. So you'd be looking at it like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside the third wave, you have your 1, your running flat, and a 2. You have your 3 here. You have your 4 here. And then this is the new low and a 5. So the third wave could be done, or the third wave could not be done. And you're in a flat, or no, either way, the third wave's done. Third wave is either done here and we're in a flat here for a 4, or the third wave ended here and now we're looking for a little bit larger of a move up before seeing the low. I hope that helps. I know this is Elliott waves can get confusing, and really Elliott waves, guys, they're based off human psychology, so they work really, really, really well on high time frame and intermediate time frames. But the market ebbs and flows throughout the days, and different things cause like, I guess you would say imperfectness in the human psychology of trading overall. Overall, they're one of the best tools, in my opinion, of trading, period, because it's based off human psychology. But the ebbs and flows of that psychology on lower time frames can start to break down based off news, based off certain things that are happening. So really, you don't want to, like, 15-minute is the lowest time frame. A lot of experts in Elliott Waves recommend trying to count on. And really, for me, I don't even like counting under the hour time frame. Okay, let's see. Around Town 27, what's up, man? You probably have multiple accounts on BYDFI. No comment there. Where was your stop loss? Where was my stop loss on gold? Are you talking about Mom Tazd? Will you let me know which one or are you even talking to me? Yeah, time attack. Good comment. You got to trade your own plan and use Divine Hood as confluence or something like that. Yes, I agree. You guys should be, you can definitely look at the trade setups, but you want to be entering the trade, gold. Oh, you're talking about gold. Okay. So you lost 170 on gold. So for me, for gold, the big thing was I wasn't even looking, like, I don't know if you were looking to, like, if you longed in here and then you lost money, you longed in here and lost money. But in here, this was not a support zone. I mean, maybe the SFP of the low here, but you didn't get an SFP, right? You can see here, you came straight down. You wicked down below it, but you kept going. You kept going for the next hour. So there was no SFP there. Now, once you initially hit the golden pocket, you did get a bounce up, but you started to turn those prior range lows into resistance. The daily level was much better because it was the bottom of the golden pocket and it was a daily level, so, but if you're shorting, first of all, you have your bigger upper range, right? Mom Tezdi, you have two ranges. You have your overall major corrective range in here, and then you have your smaller corrective range of this guy. This is what we've been paying attention to mostly. A few days ago, on Monday, we started to lose the value area low. We even back tested it. So for me, once we lost that value area low, there would be two levels I would even be considering along. I'd consider along on the SFP of the prior week's low, or coming down to the golden pocket and hitting the golden pocket and the daily level. If I would not be looking for longs anywhere in the meantime, anywhere in between those, like there's no support levels there. So you had two chances. Like for me personally, once we started to lose this value area low, I would be looking for the SFP, but you only take the SFP if you confirm it, right? So confirming the SFP, you want to see a wick below and then start reclaiming it. But if we zoom in here on the hourly chart, you can see you didn't do that. Oops. Hourly chart, you wick straight through it, you close the hourly candle below it, and the next hourly candle kept going. So I wouldn't have attempted along there because we didn't actually get a confirmed SFP there. Now, maybe I would have attempted along here. I did not have an alert set there. I had an alert on the daily. So I wasn't aware of that probably. Probably wasn't looking at the charts. But also, you had to look at your confirmations. As we were coming down there, I guess when we hit here, yeah, we did have some bull divs on the chart. We didn't on Market Cipher, though. But the second time we came down and hit the daily, you can see Market Cipher was showing bull divs. And Nami showed another drive of bull divs. Much better confirmation. Let's go to the 2 hour. 2 hour, when we came down here, there was no bull divs. Now, yes, Nami was showing bull divs. Market Cipher's money flow was also really aggressively leaving into the red. It barely tapped the 618. For me, this is exactly what we see a lot of times when you have a support in confluence with golden pocket. You'll tap the beginning of it, you'll see a lower high, and then come down to that main confluence. You want to look where there's multiple confluences. So I'm sorry that you lost 170 today and you kept getting stopped out and lost 5 separate trades. That must be really frustrating. But you got to sometimes be patient when there's no real key support levels. Like, maybe you're trying to long in here at golden pocket or something, long in here. You have to really be aware that your bigger confluence is down here and you need to wait not only for confirmation, but like you shouldn't be trying to long anywhere in here once you lost this value area low, you had two options, an SFP of the low or finally tapping the daily golden pocket. I hope that helps, Mom Testy. And I'm if I'm being hard, I'm sorry if I'm being hard. Like I'm just trying to let you know how I would play it with that and everything. So I hope that helps. I did all that, and the boy said it does take a little for the group to open up. Okay, wait, I did. The bot says I'm verified. Okay, so I think, Jerry, you're talking about the Telegram. Yeah, thank you, Crypto Wander 5813. Much love to you, man. And guys, actually, I just saw the time. I've got to go in 5 minutes. Is Amp dead? Asking for a friend. I'll look. Sultan Sal, thank you so much for the comment, man. Most underrated TA in the game. I appreciate that, dude. And Sudeep, much love to you. Thank you so much for posting the Telegram in there and helping Jerry. And Jerry, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for joining the group. I appreciate the support. And I will ask Jerry, tomorrow I'm going to stream as well. And if you're still not verified by tomorrow, I'll reach out to my rep. Tomorrow, if you're comfortable sharing your UID in the chat or DM me on Telegram, give me your UID and I'll make sure that you get verified. I haven't really, they're pretty good at doing that. So yeah. Bands Bell, welcome in, my friend. I'm up another 100K on Mew. What's your analysis? Okay, let me check real quick. What was that other one I was going to look at? AMP. I'll look at AMP and then I'll look at Mew real quick. AMP USD. Oh, God. It looks dead. Look at the super low volume on the 2-hour time frame. Dude, oh, super low volume on the daily time frame. That's why you see all these giant wicks, man. This thing does look dead to me. At least, oh, yeah. Dude, I remember, isn't AMP like a payment app where you can earn rewards and stuff like that? It looks dead to me. Quite honestly, it looks dead to me. Super low volume, and it's just in a perpetual downtrend. And look at, I was trading it back here in 2021. Oh my gosh. Obviously, that's done. Yeah, money flows leaving still on the weekly time frame. You are seeing some bull divs forming. I would be very careful with this thing, man. It honestly, on the weekly time frame, it looks like a possible 1, 2, 3. Maybe you're going to get a 4 or 5 in here on the weekly. So that'll take some time. You can see a very clear 3-wave corrective move right here. And then inside the third wave, 1, 2, maybe this is 3, 4, 5. So you still need your third wave to finish and then get a larger move in a fourth and then a 5th wave on the weekly. I would say this thing is pretty much dead. Let's go check our trend base. Fibonacci extinction. Okay, yeah, you are hitting near the 1.618. But this count still here. 1, maybe this is a triangle and a 2. Well, yeah, a triangle and a 2 here. You can't have a triangle and a 2, actually, so that's never mind. A 1, 2, you could say maybe 3, 4, 5, and that's ending now, but it looks more like it's a 1, 2, and all of this is a 3, and then you're going to get a 4, 5. That's just to end your third wave. Then you would get a larger corrective move in a 4th wave, and then a 5th. Honestly, dude, this thing looks dead. I wouldn't, and especially on the low amount of volume. Look at this on the hourly chart. You're not even getting, you're getting these weird ass candles because it's so low volume. Even on the daily chart, you are getting super, super low volume on this thing. I would definitely not be trading this at all. Now, if you're looking to buy this spot, wait for a change in market structure. I would even be waiting, but even then, look at, you come down here, you don't change market structure because you don't take out that wick, continue down. Like, you have to wait for some sort of market structure change. Like, for instance, here, you get the break above this high, you change the market structure, you pull back a little bit, and then you get a new high. Damn, yeah, this thing just looks bad. Mew, okay. Micron Technology. Wow, dude, you are killing it on this thing. And I would say that you're coming up close. You're coming up close to your resistance on this, Bansbell. Bansbell, remember, we talked about pretty much $1,000, right at $1,000, a key psychological level, but it's also a key pitchfork midline. I would definitely be looking to take some profit around $1,000. And it's also a bigger 5-wave impulse from the upside, right? We have this from all the way from $60 or 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're in your 5th and final wave to the upside. Okay. On the daily time frame, that goes all the way back to April of 2025. Coming up to a very key pitchfork midline. You can see the midline acted as resistance, get a pullback. Once you break above it, you flip it to support, you work your way up to the midline. So I would really be careful here coming up in your 5th wave. You are starting to see some bear divs on the daily now. Money flow still looks pretty good. Let's go on the weekly. Weekly actually looks freaking awesome on money flow on Market Cipher, but be careful because you do see weekly bear divs and overall money flow on NAMI's faster and it is draining out. So I would really be paying attention to $1,000. Really be paying attention to $1,000 there. But look at that move, dude. That is a crazy wild move. And that does look like a pretty clean impulse to me. A very clean impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you hit $1,000 and then what are you looking for? You're looking for a pullback to golden pocket because obviously this thing is overall bullish. So let me just put it right on like, you know, around that area. Golden pocket. We're going to make that based off log scale. Oops. Yeah, and look at that. That would be so nice. So if you reject after this big 5-wave impulse, if you reject here, you see a 3-wave move down to the golden pocket and to back test the pitchfork band on a higher time frame because you had your immediate time frame back test, but you haven't had a higher time frame back test, and then you could keep going. Looks very, very nice though, man. Great job, Bansbell. Killing it, man. Killing it. That is awesome. Okay, guys, I'm really sorry, but I do got to get going for today. I will be streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please come join me. We'll go through Bitcoin. By the way, tomorrow Bitcoin might be around that 71.7 level. We might be able to get a decent, like, multi-$1,000 long position to the upside from 71 to 78. And we can look at a lot of the altcoins as well. Yeah, don't put money into this right now, dude. For sure. If you, and that's not financial advice. I'm sorry. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, but if you are not in a long on this, it is very, very risky to long this now or to buy this spot now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for your support. Please do like the video on your way out. Remember, if you do want to join the Telegram and get updates when I'm not streaming or when I'm not making videos, all you have to do is join BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description. Deposit a minimum deposit of $100 or more. Once you've done that, click the Telegram link, and in the Telegram Verify channel, you type in /verify and then your user ID on BYDFI, and that'll get you into the main Telegram channel community. So thank you guys. Much love to you all. I appreciate you all, and I will see you tomorrow.